So from time to time, I've referred to myself as an accidental entrepreneur because I was in a traditional corporate job trying to introduce new ways and new technologies for environmental monitoring, but I just wasn't getting anywhere. So when the opportunity came, I decided I was going to go it on my own because Australia is the easiest country in the world to start a business. You can start a business in 24 hours with $1,000 in your pocket and a bit of luck in your eye. And I really enjoyed the idea of learning new things. Again, I'm a PhD trained brain. I constantly seek new ways of doing things. So the idea that I could start from scratch in this startup world and try and actually create some new business models that aren't being supported by the traditional corporate paradigm to actually take technology and apply it to real business problems. It takes a lot to stand out on your own. Sometimes you realize you have leadership skills that you didn't know that you had. And one of the biggest things that I've learned is that leadership is not a hierarchical concept. There are people that I know that are 20 years younger than me that are obviously leaders in their field. And there are people that are 20 years older than me that are only just finding their leadership buzz. And so I guess my advice to anybody who wants to try and change things up or who has an idea is get your sideshow started, get some sound financial advice, and then look to see how you can change the world by starting a brand new business. Recently in the US, we actually flipped a switch in that the number of businesses closing for the first time in history were larger than the number of businesses opening. This is actually very worrying. We need diversity in our business ecosystem. We do not need monopoly. So the idea that some of these large corporates might have to get broken up into smaller independent businesses, for me, that actually allows us to have competition and diversity in the market. But to be an entrepreneur is not easy. To do anything on your own is not easy, but the rewards are huge. And so I'd encourage anyone or everyone who's got even a vague idea of what they'd like to do is actually to get on board the entrepreneurship train, even if it's just a small project that you do at home. In terms of the future of work, more of us are going to be self-employed than in traditional employment in the next 10 years. So the gig economy is not just about people doing waiting jobs or hospitality jobs. The gig economy is going to go all the way up to the C-suite. People that are already directors, are you ready to be independent? What could this mean for your business in terms of risks and opportunities going forwards? Always the optimist that I am, I'd suggest it's a huge opportunity to be able to access neurodiversity and thought leadership from outside of your own ecosystem. So the gig economy itself could actually become a source of real power for traditional business in a changing and ever-evolving business landscape.